right, crypto pirates, welcome to your Discourse Syndicate, chatting with the captain. I'm the captain, RG3. Welcome, everybody. Say hello to everybody in the chat room. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you all being here. Got some good stuff to bring to you tonight. My co-host or partner tonight is not showed up yet, so we'll see how that works out. But I got some things that I want to talk about. First of all, last night I had a very long AMA with everybody about the SEC issue. Now I want to clear something up for everybody, but first I want to play something, and I want everybody to remember who we are and why we're here. So hold on one second, guys.
Send your heroes here to die and send your people here to thrive. Because I'm winning the game. I'm winning it. And I'm winning it with a big old team of people. We're a community. We're a family. We get stuff done together. I mean, I'm impressed with what the Hexicans build on the regular. I see cool stuff all the time. I love it. I mean, they're awesome. Awesome, awesome people. Best community I've been part of. All right, let's go look at.
I wanted everybody to hear and see Richard say that, because I've about had it up to here tonight with some of you folks out there who claim to be part of this community, part of this family, part of what we started and part of what we're trying to finish and take home. That's the man right there, showing you his heart and talking to you about who we are and what we're doing. This is about the community, guys. I came out last night to explain things to you guys. People are out there calling me a scammer. People are out there saying I'm trying to fleece the community. Well, for those of you who are doing that, I've got nothing to say to you. I've really got nothing to say to you. Those of you who are getting blocked on Twitter, I'm done with you. Those of you who have come and praised our efforts and said thank you and sent all the nice messages in the DMs, I appreciate you, and you guys are true Hexicans, because that's what Richard is talking about, is us being a community and doing things. I want to read something else too. Hexican out there, Model T Maximalist, he hits the nail on the head here on the Twitter today, just tonight, this evening. He says, and thanks Model T for this: if Hex really has an enduring community that can survive in the wild and not a common enterprise reliant on RH or the OA, then the community really needs to build and fund everything. It's not in Hex's best interest to have RH or OA fund anything. Hex is just code with the community. So I say that to tell you guys that it is time for us to fucking grow up. It is time for us to come together, and it's time for us to quit fudding out when other Hexicans are doing things and trying to make things happen. This SEC thing is twofold. I want everybody to understand something. First of all, it's just an inquiry. The SEC is going after everyone in the Hex community right now, just blanket inquiries. It really means nothing at this point. There is no court order. All they are doing is actually investigating, trying to cast a wide net, trying to see who will turn over on somebody, who will give them some information. They know nothing about the community. They know nothing about Hex as a crypto. They know nothing about who it is, who we are, and what we're doing. They're just trying to see if they can find something. And it's actually kind of created a mess amongst the community. People are all over the place, willy-nilly, acting like fools, getting in fights, calling OGs fleecers. I mean, guys, look, these people, for instance, Hexologist has spit out a spleen and come to the community's aid from day one. How dare any of you say anything about him? How dare you? Who are you to say something about Hexologist, asking for some help to fund the rest of the Hexicans that are out there's defense funds? Personally, on my own, I'm taking care of all of my own stuff. I don't need anybody to raise any money for me. I haven't asked for any money. And that's what I wanted to explain the second fold of this thing. The SEC, during all of this, what we found is that there is kind of a chink in the armor here, something that we can actually go after. And that is this declaration statement that we'd like to see the SEC provide for HEX. Is it far-fetched? It could be. Is it a long stretch for us to maybe try and get this thing done? It might be. But you know what? It's a worthy cause, in my opinion. For those of you who don't think it is, fine. Pound sand and go away and let us be on. Let the real hexicans go do the work. Let the grown-ups in the room go do the work and take care of this. You guys be on your way. But I want everybody to understand that this has absolutely nothing to do with my personal defense fund. RG's taking care of his own shit. I handle my own business. All of my businesses are handled also. None of you have funded any of my shit. I want you to know that. So you can get that off of your lips now. I'm doing this for the community, like everything that I've done has been for this community. Everything here has cost me money, time, away from my family, away from my kids. Everything that I've done was for this community, was for HEX. And to be honest, a byproduct of it gives to you guys. I'm really doing it for the people that don't know about HEX. I'm doing it so that we can get the word out, so that I can teach Hexicans how to be better Hexicans and how to get the word out so that those people out there who need this can get involved and know what it is. Because crypto's wrecked, guys. Crypto has a bad name. These guys have destroyed it. This FTX thing is going to get deeper and deeper and deeper. And we're going to talk about that here in a minute. I hope we're going to. If not, then I'll do it on my own. But this thing with Mr. Freed, look at the contrast of this. So all this time, Richard's been called the scammer. Richard and his clownware, Richard and his trash mouth, Richard and his shit talking. You know, everybody thought Richard was the scammer because it was real easy to pin him that way. And lo and behold, the guy who everybody thought was the savior of crypto, and they were all singing his praises. They were all singing his praises. Don't let any of them fool you now that they're out there chasing Sam around like he's some kind of criminal or like he did something wrong and they, you know, and they're going to go be the heroes of crypto now. Bullshit. Bullshit. They praised him. They made him to be some kind of hero, Mr. Mild-mannered t-shirt wearing geek fuck. And you guys all praised him. And I'm not talking about the Hexicans. I'm talking about crypto in general. And who comes out being the scammer? That fucking clown. Not our clown. That guy that just told you from his heart that we're a family. We're a family. And that fucking chokes me up because that's all I've ever wanted this to be, was that tight. I wanted us to be that tight so we can get some people with some passion to get out here, get in here, and go out and deliver this to the world. Reach down and grab a little, people. Get some unity going here. What do we got to do to make you guys realize that we're the real deal? And I'm talking about our own community coming after us and eating our own. What is this bullshit? Man, it's like being in fucking prison. That's prison mentality. This isn't a family with love and care for each other. It's bullshit. I can't believe that we're 3 years into this. 3 years into this, being backed by Richard and Hex all this time. None of us have ever had to take a word back. None of us have ever had to say that we made a mistake. None of us have ever had to say, I'm sorry this guy scammed you. I'm sorry Hex scammed you. No, none of us have ever had to do that. 3 fucking years, guys. 3 years. And what do we have? We still have infighting. We still have people calling the guys that have spit out spleens for you scammers. When are we going to learn, guys? When are we going to unite? When are you guys going to grow up and realize that this is yours to take out there and give to the world? I'm a little disappointed right now, and I don't mean to freaking bang on you guys, but I do, because I want to put my arm around you and I want to punch you in the fucking stomach. That's how I feel about this right now. Because when I see Richard, that if you don't know people, let me play that again for you. If you didn't get it, no, I'm not going to play again because I'll screw it all up. Go into what is it? Hexsearch.io and just pull up some of Richard's stuff. And when you see that man being real right there, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I trust Richard Hart, because he's real. That was real what he said there. He's not going to let us down, guys. Some of you are doubting him right now. Some of you are doubting what we're doing. But look, the bear market does that every single fucking time. I've been through this a few times already. I've been in crypto since 2014, watching pumps and dumps and crashes and smashes. And it happens. It happens. Richard told us from day one, guys, this thing goes down 90%. It's going to do it again. Be prepared. It's going to happen. What are you going to do when it happens? Eat your own is what happens. So sit back. Remember what you're dealing with here. Take a chill pill. Get behind the community, because now it's time to build. Now it's time to prepare for the storm that's raging and the sunshine that's going to come out, because we will see another pump. I saw my friend Mark Moss, and I consider him a friend. He's a good guy. We've met a few times over at Robert Kiyosaki's events. Smart guy, but he doesn't know Hex. He knows crypto and he knows Bitcoin. But I saw him make a statement that crypto will not have another bull run. And here's why. And he laid it out there because of all this scam stuff that's going on with FTX and everything. And he made some valid points, but he doesn't know Hex. He doesn't know what Hex is. And those are the people that we got to get to, the smart people out there that understand what real crypto should be. See, Mark Moss knows what real crypto should be. He just doesn't know Hex. There's a lot of good Bitcoiners out there. There are a lot of good people in crypto that aren't, they're not dumb. They're not necessarily ignorant. They just don't know Hex. Once they figure out what this is, once they understand that it's a better Bitcoin, that it's a better Ethereum, or that it was built on Ethereum's proof of concept, then they're going to get it. They're going to get it, that true DeFi has finally been made. And that's the message that we have to start passing. We don't have to worry about Pulse. We don't have to worry about PulseX. Those things will happen. And all those things are there for is to enhance Hex, to make Hex even that much better. It's going to ring in the era of true DeFi. And if we don't start getting better voices, getting better heads, getting more united, and get our message out there, then we're going to lose, guys. We're going to lose. And I'm not going to let that happen. I'm going to do everything I can to try and straighten this fucking place out, try and get you guys unified so that we can go out and pass along this message. Look, if you haven't seen it, Richard's getting accolades lately. Richard's actually being told that he's got something good to say. The last couple of streams I saw him on, the last couple of Twitter spaces that I heard him in, they were actually praising him. They were letting him talk, and they weren't calling him a scammer. They weren't calling him names. They weren't going, "Oh, I'm out of here because Richard Hart's in here." How many times have we heard that? How many times have we seen that? Well, that's not going on anymore. And guess what? The Hexicans need to be that now. We need to go out there and start speaking with authority because we have the answers and they need it. Crypto needs it right now. Look at this mess, guys. They're all hurting. All the furus are hurting so bad, and they're trying to change the narrative. Like, oh, that FTX is so bad, when they were all freaking shilling it just a few weeks prior, calling SBF the savior. It's pathetic, man. We got to call that shit out, and we got to get out in front of this thing. And this thing with the SEC, this thing that I'm trying to put together, that I'm taking a lot of shit for. I didn't think it was going to be so much. And it may be that somebody said that we need to raise $1 million. We don't need to raise $1 million. We need to raise as much as we can to try and keep a defense fund going so that we can try and bring this thing to the SEC and say, hey, Hex would like a stamp of approval. We'd like a declaration. And I don't know exactly how that looks or what how that works or what it looks like. But I know that a real good lawyer that we're talking to right now has done that, and that he thinks that we've got a good case, and that he's going to work on it. So we'll get details as it comes out. But again, guys, this has absolutely nothing to do with anybody's personal legal fees. All right? Let's get that straight. And it's not a scam, because I'll tell you, the people that are involved in this have never scammed you. This community, myself, my partner, the people that are here at Discourse Syndicate, the people that are behind this, Gary, none of them have ever scammed you or tried to fleece hexagons or tried to build something that was going to have you sacrifice your money for it or spend your hex for it. None of them have done that. This is different. This is what Richard was talking about in that video that I just played for you. Richard said, I love what hexagons are doing. And I know he's talking about us. I know he's talking about the Hex Investment Trust. I know that he's talking about the things that we've built. I'm proud of that. I'm proud that Richard has praised us for those things. I'm proud that he's endorsed us. I'm proud that he retweeted our defense fund to go up against the SEC on this. He did. So put that in your pipe and smoke it, though, all of you Richard Hart loyalists. He praised us, those who are doing the work. Anyway, so with that, I think my guest is here. I don't want to rant too much more, but look, it's with love that I say this, guys. I care about each and every single one of you, even you fudders, even you guys that have said horrible shit about me, even you guys that have gotten blocked by me the last few days. I freaking love you guys. You guys are all pirates in my eye. But sometimes you got to walk the plank. Sometimes you got to put glass in your sandals. Sometimes you got to go out there and swab the decks. So still love you, though. Anyway. All right, everybody. Without further ado, we need to talk more about this FTX thing. And I need some brain power in here, because you guys know that the captain is learning a lot of these things about the new world of crypto outside of Hex. I know Hex. I try not to get too involved in anything else out there. But because of the climate, because of what's going on, we need to learn some more about what's happening. So I'm going to bring. So first I want to make this announcement. So Discourse Syndicate here, chatting with the Captain Show. The 3 shows that I do. Yes, I said 3 shows. I'm going back to 3 shows. It's going to be regular. We're going to be Monday nights is going to be chatting with the Captain. We're going to be bringing on some higher value guests. Rock stars, movie stars, you name it. We're going to bring them all on and talk to them about Hex crypto and just general global economic stuff. And then Wednesday nights is going to be a new show. It's going to be a new show, and it's going to be with this young man I'm bringing up right now. He's going to be my new partner in crime, and we're going to do a show on Wednesdays. He's going to be the young brains, and I'm going to be the old wisdom, and we're going to bring you some crypto info on Wednesday nights. And this is my man and FHamous. What's up, bro?
Man? What's up, man? I love that rant. You got me pumping. Whoa, you got me pumping. I know I came in a bit late, but like, whoa, man, I'm just like, yo, when do I come in to start saying some shit to people because they're such fun?
We're gonna
let's go, man.
We're gonna play, bro. We're gonna play. We're gonna fire this community up, is what we're gonna do. It's time. It's time. I don't want to yell at the community. I want to fire the community up, because guys, now is the time for us to train. Now is the time for us to get hot. Now is the time for us to be ready to go when this bull market comes and we're sitting on top and we've got the best streamers in all of crypto. They're going to listen to our message. They're going to listen, and we got to be prepared for that. We got to be prepared for that. So, and then guys, so on Friday nights, it's always going to be the FN Hangout. That's your show. Everybody comes, haters, lovers of Hex, whoever, anybody gets to come on that show. That's what it's always going to be. Friday night hangout, the FN Hangout. So that's the show lineup. Good to have you, FHamous. Hey, I want to get into
honored.
I'm honored to have you, man. I can't wait to learn from you, to be honest. I've listened to you in the spaces, and you're fire, bro. Like, you remind me of me when I was a younger man. You know, you're just got that fire burning in your belly, and you're passionate about what you're doing. And one day you're going to get old and grouchy like me, and then it'll just be old and grouchy. But let's
Can't wait for that day,
let's
eh?
dive let's dive right into this FTX thing, man, because
Yeah.
it's the news of the day, and I don't want to look. I want Hexicans to know that we're going to talk about events and things that are going on out there, but we're never going to fucking shill anything else. We're never shilling anything. It's all about Hex. It's always going to always be about Hex. I'm not shilling Pulse. I'm not shilling PulseX. It's always going to be about Hex because I know what Hex is. I don't know what anything else is. And I don't like Bitcoin. Sorry. It's just not my thing. I got a bunch of gold too that's damn near worthless to me. I got 4 generations of gold sitting in safes that have never been spent by anybody. And guess what? When I fucking die, my kids are going to stick it in a safe and they ain't going to do anything there either. So what good is that stuff? That's what Bitcoin is to me. It's digital gold. And they call it that. So as Bitcoiners, you call your own shit digital gold. Well, guess what? It's worthless as far as I'm concerned. Store of value. Yeah, sure. Whatever. Put it away and just keep passing your treasures along to your great grandkids as far as I'm concerned. But Hex is something different. And we're going to be talking about that a lot. And let's dig into the FTX thing, bro. What have you been doing as far as your research goes? I know that you've been looking at it and you wanted to talk about it today.
Well, the research that we've been doing, especially in the spaces, because it's not just me. I got to give credit to a lot of people in the spaces who obviously it's been a topic. We're fed up of certain spaces talking about nonsense and like talking about it on one spectrum of the world where, first off, guys, I see it as yin and yang, where it's the normal world and the crypto world. So when I talk about the different dimensions and shit, I say that like people are talking about it only on the real world side and no one actually understands it in the metaverse or crypto side. And I was researching all this stuff, RG, and I was looking into like, asking people like, yo, send me all the links you can. Like, let's actually like try to get down to this. And I realized that it's an endless goose chase of what did FTX send, where did they send the money, who has the money, and what did they do with it? And then you could tie it to Alameda, you could tie it to this. You could even say that the money from Ukraine went to that. But I don't want to get into that. I don't care what the truth is about that. At the end of the day, what's happened is happened. I don't want to cry over spilled milk. So what I have for you today and what I've decided to talk about is how can we move forward from this, right? The positiveness.
Exactly.
Like, why cry over the spilled milk? We got this. Now, how do we use this for our advantage? Well, we see a pattern in the actions of FTX or FTT, whichever one wants to come to the plate. Now, whoever dares,
you know what? Let me comment on that real quick. So I like what you said, because here's the thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna know all the dirt. They're gonna dig up the dirt. They're gonna spend the time on the dirt, and we're gonna hear it. So we don't need to go looking for it. We don't need to go digging up or focusing on it or whatever. We need to go out there and how do we capitalize on this? How do we change the narrative? How do we use this to our advantage and talk to people about DeFi versus this CeFi that they all been playing with? Because we know what the CeFi did, and they're going to find out real soon because they're going to dig up all the dirt and they're all going to be wallowing in it. And, because they're all wrecked from it. So they're going to be like swimming in that pig shit. And we're going to take this and we ain't casting our pearls before that stuff. So carry on. I'm sorry, man. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's okay, man. Don't worry about it. I was just going to say the actions, right? So we need to not compare, but to analyze in a way where, yes, it is comparison. I will say it. I'll be the one to say it, where compare both of them. Have the balls to do it. And I do, because when you look at, like, you take one coin and the other and you put them next to each other and you put a chart, right? And I wrote these down just fast, right? The FTX, just the coin, right? The coin is a joke. The coin is centralization and has VC ties. It ends up giving you a utility that makes you not your keys, not your coin. It doesn't have this cross-chain binding that we sort of have. It has all these ties to Alameda and to other things that we are trying to get away from in crypto. It also has 0 use cases as an ERC20. I'll explain that. And there's no community effort. So when you go and compare all those things, well, then you go and see Hex. You own your own keys. There's truly trustless utility. Then we have no CEX goals. We don't. If there is hex on the exchange, it's not
The
a
liquidity
community.
doesn't even exist on sexes.
Someone must have given it. So it's like, okay, those coins are already. When someone says, well, is it worth buying something on a centralized exchange? No, the coins are already bought. they already have them, and they're giving it to you in some way, shape, or form, right? So, and then when you look at the ERC20, the one utility we have is probably the most important utility on the chain, which is 100% uptime, consistency, and actual transparency. So, and then let's not talk about the community, because then we'll just blow them to fucking smithereens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
well, they don't have a community.
That's my goals for
they had an orgy party, a nerd orgy party is what they had. They didn't have a community.
You know, when FTX actually, when I saw FTX get into cahoots with Solana, like when I saw that whole, like, because I was like, oh, look at this exchange, you know, like, this might be useful. It might be useful. It might. I wasn't like, oh, this is the saving of crypto. No, it's not, because I remember when Bitcoin futures launched, I was like this. Oh, fuck. Oh no, more users to the exchange, right? And now with the FTX, I was like, this could be good. But then as soon as I saw the ties and they were like, oh, we're like this with Solana now, I was like, no. Not good. So yeah, I think it's very important to look at the habits and what we do with our coin compared to others. And then it's easier when we compare, because people have this need to compare us to them, or compare us to
course.
something.
It's natural. It's human behavior. That's what we want to do. And that's a good thing, though. That plays in our favor, because that's what I was talking about earlier. Remember, I said my friend Mark Moss, he knows Bitcoin, but he doesn't know Hex. And these people know FTT, but they don't know Hex. And when they do find out what Hex is, it checks all the boxes in what they want a real crypto to be. It really does. And that's what we got to start doing for these folks, is helping them to check the boxes, especially the smarter ones, especially the ones that have a little something going on, that aren't out there too wrecked, I guess. Most of them are. I mean, almost all of them are wrecked. But, those are the people that we need to get a hold of. Those are the people we need to educate and start letting them see. And we should keep it that simple. Like what you're about to say right now is very simple. Hex checks these boxes. And then we got to continue to show people Richard Hart's heart and what he's trying to do and what he's trying to accomplish. That's what we got to show people. The outrage marketing thing is great, but I want people to see that man right there. The one that I showed, the one that called us family, with fucking like feeling. I saw the feeling in that man. It chokes me up, because I know he's talking about me and us as a community, as a family. I was there in London when I met him for the first time at the party we had in London, and got to meet Richard for the first time. They emptied a room, and the film crew was there, and they had me and Richard meet each other, and it was like, boom, man, like, this is my brother, man, right here. This is my dude. And we looked at each other in the eyes, and I said, man, we fucking did it, bro. We did it, and I don't have to fail at the end of my years here and lose to the freaking man who destroyed my pension plans and my 401ks and my investment plans. I don't have to lose to that, because you helped me, man. And we had a moment there, and because of that, I see these moments in Richard when he's talking about us, and when he knows that we're the best, and he knows who we are and what we're going to do. I want people to see that part of him and understand that part of him, and know that he's really here to do good, because none of this stuff that the SEC is doing is going to harm us. I promise you all that. I promise you all. Nobody has done anything wrong. They're searching because they have to. They're not searching because there's something here. They're searching because they have to. And they're not going to find anything. It's going to end up vindicating us. It's a good thing. This is really all a good thing. But I want everybody to just chill on that. Don't worry about it. And let's focus on who Richard really is and what he's really trying to do and who we are as Hexicans, what we're trying to do. If we focus on that, if we keep doing that, then there is nothing that can come against us. Nothing.
And to talk on that, right? Because a lot of people are blinded, right? Because whether the SEC does something or not for your area and your geography, I could promise you everyone in the world is utilizing crypto. There are countries in Europe, in Asia, in South America, in where you're able to use crypto, and they love crypto. They love the concept of crypto. Crypto is not going anywhere. If something would have happened, they would have done something when so much illegal activity was in the background, and they could have stopped it, and they didn't, because the technology is unstoppable, guys. And I'm looking at you, and I hope I'm reaching your soul, guys. This is not going anywhere. They are just doing, like you said, RG, semantics. They're just doing whatever they need to do to shut some people up. And I think that we need to capitalize. And what better time? Like, I don't know if people see this or if I'm the only one that's going to say this, but you know when they say everything happens for a reason? Like, lately, I just see too many. I don't know if it's just for me, but I just see too many, like, this is not a coincidence. Like, everything is just, like, falling into place. Like, a perfect, like, bricks just going. I don't know if you've ever seen that meme where it just, they put all the bricks in and it just goes perfect, like, in coherence. And I just see the community, like, everything we're doing and everything that everyone's doing is finally bringing fruit. And now we're seeing the conglomerate effect of our fucking power, where, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day, right? They say that, right? And we see,
bro, you nailed
our ecosystem.
You nailed it right
crazy,
there with
man.
the fruit, because I've been at this for close to 3 years now. Extremely well, 3 years now it has been, and we've planted, we've watched it grow, and we've had to protect it because of, you know, the storms and everything else that have hit us, the people trying to tear us down. But now we're starting to bear fruit. We are. And I'm saying that while we're 90 something % down. And I'm not saying that to psych people out, pump them up, and, you know, because we're down or anything. I'm saying that because that's what I'm seeing right now. And it's not price action that's making me excited. What's making me excited is what's going on out there in the macro crypto world and what's going on here, the change I'm seeing, the respect that Richard's starting to get. And guess what? That's going to roll over to us. It eventually is going to roll over to us. And then we're going to be able to take it out and deliver this message to the world, and help change it, you know? So I'm excited to see that fruit finally starting to bear, you know?
And you do see it, man. Ever since, and I'm going to say this again, ever since that Fresh and Fit podcast where we had Dollar Cost Crypto, and then you had Funding Jim next to Richard, it's more appealing to see another Hexican next to the boss, or next to the big guy, or the guy that led us, and that, like, the beginning, the pillar of it all, right? The pillar of our need to help. This man right here. It was cool to see people next to him because he's not alone. People think he's alone. All his things, I know he knows that he's the greatest. And I know we know he's the greatest, and he's super strong. He's a one-man army. But for the idiots, right? The idiots, the people that we want to help. The reason why it looks like a scam, because we want to scam you into the beautifulness of it, into the properness of it. It's good to see him next to him. And now that he's coming up, you know, you see Corey, you see GRG, you see yourself, you see Jim Rat, GRC, sorry, where they're coming up, and you see them getting into the big chats and able to say something. You know, Walrus have said something. I don't know if he ended up doing his thing. I probably missed it on Saturday because I was busy. But Walrus was able to go and contact them to say, hey, let's talk about what's actually happening. What is Pulse X going to do differently than Uniswap? It's coming slowly. Our projects in the community and the efforts we're making are going to make noise, and people are going to start looking. I'm just saying, man, if it's not going to be X, it's definitely going to be something that a Hexican does, because it's perfect, in my opinion, what we're doing. I don't think it could get better.
We're building true DeFi, and that's what's happening here. Hex is proof that DeFi can exist. Now we need a few more things, We need some privacy, and we need a wallet, and we need these other things to launch, and then like DeFi will exist, and we, like I said, we just have to get this unified message and start delivering it. We got to deliver it to the crypto space and beyond, because people need to hear it, and they need to understand that crypto is not wrecked. Crypto is not wrecked. It is actually doing better than it ever has. People just don't know it yet. They just don't 100%. Know it. They don't know that this ecosystem exists. You know, it's the best kept secret in all of crypto, and it's going to be. Hey, Susie Q.
Thank you, Susie.
Hey,
you know what I think is the. Can I just do one little rant, because this is something I've pushed since the beginning. Education. Now, my biggest problem with the community is that me and you can't be there all the time. Richard can't be there all the time. All the onboarders where it's like, hey, who do we call? Call this person. He'll come in and he'll explain it to them. We have to stop that mentality. Hexicans have the tools. You guys have the tools to go ahead and explain to someone, right? Now, I love it when Hexicans are trying to explain it, because it shows that where it's different. It's not like, oh, please help me. Let me call my lifeline, like on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, right? I feel like I want Hexicans to be like that guy on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire that called his dad to say, hey, Dad, yeah, I just want to let you know I'm going to be a millionaire. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want them to end up having to use a lifeline. They need to understand practice. They need to understand, learn what your product is. Stop saying that person said it. Go ahead and check it. Do your own research. Know where to show people, right? So just an example, my website, cryptotolearn.com, it allows people mobile-wise, right? Because not everyone can have their computer have 20 tabs open the way we know it has to be done, which is you have to check this out. You have Hex.Vision, you have this, the daily stats, you have this, Etherscan.io, liquidity pools, Uniswap. You know, it never ends. But what's important is to have a concise, quick place where you have all the links. What is EES? Well, how do you calculate that? Well, what is this? What is explain to me the staking. Okay, cool. That's this. Where do I go to stake? Oh, here. You have to have all the links in one place. I created that not to boast. I created that to make it easier for the person who has
those are the things we have to do
with the technology. Yep. So you could say, hey, instead of taking 5 hours to onboard him, take that 1.5 hours. So cutting the time allows you to do more things, but also getting used to your product is more important, because then you don't sound like an idiot. And if you sound like an idiot, like this is right, dumb it down. Why do you want to dumb down a product that is so fucking complex and perfect? It doesn't make sense to me. It's like, imagine you walk into you need open heart surgery, and then the guy goes, I just want to let you know, I know the dumbed down version of cutting you open and fixing your heart. It's like when the guy woke up and saw Mr. Bean and he's like, oh my God, that's my surgeon. And like Mr. Bean's like, you know, it's like you passed out again.
No, it doesn't need to be dumb. It needs to be simplified. And, you know, because, you know, I'm a simple guy. I'm not a dumb guy. I'm a simple guy. You know, in fact, in some places in my life where I've worked and done things that other people can't do, I've been called, you know, brilliant. But when it comes to a lot of things, I need things to be simplified. And a lot of people out there, especially with crypto, who are new to crypto, but need crypto, they need it simplified. Especially a lot of my generation and older, you know, they need it to be simplified for them. And dumbing down is a horrible word, especially in this space, because we don't have dumb people in this space. But hey, with that, man, I want to call the show. I want to let you have a final thought here and say something. I don't want our show to go long. I want us to keep it short and sweet, and so we can come back and do more and make people want to come back. So, anything you want to say before I cut us out?
Damn, what do I want to say? I just want to
tell them about our show on Wednesdays.
Okay, so Wednesdays, guys, is basically gonna be DeFi. It's basically going to be discourse. It's basically going to be how do we make an impact on this community, right? So like, I know he's going to say this, but I'm the young gun and he's the old wisdom guy. But at the end of the day, we have both experience and we both have our knowledge and we've both been in this for a long time. So it's going to be cool for you to listen to my point of view and his point of view, because everyone in this community, everyone comes from this age range in between me and him. So we've been through it all. He's been through it all. I haven't, but I've kind of been through it all in a sense of the term at a young age. So how can we take all of our experience, right, and create a perfect way for the next people to come in, right? The next wave. I think I'm the third wave, right? So
Somewhere
there's the
around
OGs, there's the big payday, and then there's the sacrifices.
Post big
right?
payday,
So I'll say like that we're the sacrifice generation. There's going to be other generations, and I like to call this the cycles. So as the cycles come forth, we need to put in place this tombstone type of information where it's like, let's take our experience and say, how does this apply now? How do we take a stand on the problems with crypto? And that's what this show is going to be. And we're going to teach you guys how to be your own fucking bank, how to be your own bank in this world, in this metaverse, right? That's it.
We're not going to wreck anybody. We're going to be honest and forthright, and we're going to have integrity, and we're going to do what Richard Hart is asking us to do, and that's be a good community, a strong community, a community that goes out and builds and makes him proud. That's what we're going to do. So with that, I thank you all for coming. Famous, I can't wait, man. I'm excited about Wednesdays. We're going to have a good fucking time, my brother. We're going to have a good time. All right, everybody. Have a good one. We'll catch you on Wednesday of our first show.